And so today we are going to talk about how to make your first or $10,000 to $15,000 utilizing Facebook ads. Now, we could also apply this to YouTube ads. Like with my Lean on Laurel students, I have been teaching them how to do both, because what happens when Facebook goes down for a day? The world loses their mind, right? Me, I was able to kick back and I was like, you know what? Facebook's down. Most of my clients are running Facebook. Some of them are running YouTube. We're all good. We have our lead generation in place. And so what we want to talk about first is, are you using the right type of marketing? Do you have the right type of marketing funnel in place? Okay. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to spotlight my video. So first thing we have to talk about is marketing versus sales, because I see so many people who have an ebook funnel. What type of funnel right now? If you're using a funnel and you still haven't made your first $10,000, $15,000, what type of funnel are you using? You could say, I'm not using any funnel. You could say, I'm using an ebook funnel. I'm using a low ticket offer funnel. I see Michelle's using a quiz. Sean says nothing yet. Lily says book a call, application, good. Joel says case study, discovery call funnel, quiz, low ticket, application funnel. Just put, Peppa just says, just put it together, a free workshop. Okay, so let's talk about a marketing funnel versus a sales funnel. So how many of you guys like need cash and you need like cash now, right? Cash flow. We need to make something happen, or we are going to have to go back to a job, right? Like now. So many freaking business coaches are setting you guys up with the wrong freaking type of funnel. If you need cash now and you need cash flow, do you think you should be selling a low ticket offer? If you need cash flow right now, do you think you should be giving away a free ebook? If you need cash now, you know, do we need to be doing 5-day challenges and all of that stuff? You need to have more conversations than you need to do anything. Okay. Here's the thing. We have to understand that there's a difference between a marketing funnel and a sales funnel. Okay. A sales funnel is framing your audience for a sale. VSLs, case studies, mini webinars. Their marketing starts with, would you like to see my system that allows my clients to do this, right? People are opting in to see what their system looks like. They're pre-framing to see a system that they need in order to grow their business. A marketing funnel, on the other hand, is built for massive scale. This is to grow your list. A lot of people ask me, Laurel, should I be growing a list? Should I be building my list? You hear this all the time. You know, the money is in the list. That's true. But if you need cash flow, should you be building a list? Absolutely freaking not. You need to be talking to people face to face. But yet, what so many of you guys are doing, and this is we're just having a real conversation right now, is you're putting this big gigantic funnel in front of you having a conversation with people. That's all. Like if you think about it right now, if you had 30 days and you needed to sell 2 $5,000 coaching packages, what would you do? What would you do? Let me know in the chat. If you had to sell 2 $5,000 coaching packages in the next 30 days, or else you would lose your house, you would lose, like you would pretty much like lose everything. What would you do? Yeah, Shan says, call everybody, pitch. Get on calls with people and companies. Hop in DMs and start conversations. Absolutely, conversations are the fastest path to cash. Okay. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have some fun today. I like doing math. I don't know, maybe you guys don't like doing math. I like doing math. My right hand is kind of out of commission, so my scribble is going to be scribble. It's already scribble. If you guys thought my handwriting couldn't get worse, wait till today. Okay, so now that we've established we need a sales funnel versus a marketing funnel. Cool. So the question that a lot of you guys are asking me right now in your head, you're just not asking it right here, is, okay, Laurel, if I need a sales funnel and I need to book calls, why aren't you having me set up a VSL, a mini webinar, or a case study funnel? Does anyone want to answer that question? If we need to book more calls and a sales funnel is the best way to make sales, why am I not going to teach you guys how to do this today? Yep. Carlos, takes too long to make money. All of you guys just told me you need freaking cash flow. Do you know how expensive it is to run this type of funnel? Before we're even dialing in a funnel, we need 500 leads. Okay? Let's just do some math. Okay? So let's say this is the opt-in page, right? This is your play page. And this is the app. See, just when you guys thought my handwriting couldn't get worse. We need 500 leads to dial this in, right? Because if we're sending traffic to our ads, right? Only 20% of the people who are coming from ads are going to opt in. Now, sometimes it might be more or less, but let's say we're spending $2 a click, which is pretty industry standard, right? If we're spending $2 a click and we get 1,000 people to get here, right? And we're spending $2 a click already. That's $2,000, right? But let's say we're paying $2 a click, but we're paying $10 a lead. We're going to be spending $5,000 just to get those 500 leads. Only 40%, if you're lucky, only 40% of those 500 people are even going to hit play on your webinar, much less make it to your actual offer. Remember how you guys said you needed cash flow? Do you think this is the way to get cash flow when you need cash flow and you're about to, like you need to pay bills? So this is my rule of thumb. This is my rule of thumb. When people ask me what kind of ad budget they should have, my first question is, how much money are you making or going to make in the next 90 days? Subtract all of your bills and all of the things that you have to pay for in the next 90 days, and that is your ad spend. You do not want to spend any of your money that you need in order to live in the next 90 days on ads. So if we need cash flow sooner rather than later, that's what we're going to talk about today. And that is the danger of what a lot of these, coaches in the space are doing, is they're selling you guys a strategy that a lot of you guys have no chance of winning. You're spending tens of thousands of dollars for their coaching. You're putting the ad spend. How many of you guys have been told to put ad spend on your credit card? I see that all the time. Like coaches telling people, well, if you should be investing in yourself. If you're not spending, you're not investing in yourself. I see this ad all the time. I'm going to show you how to spend $0 on ads. And what they're teaching people how to do is put the money, because Facebook bills you on your ad spend later, right? And so they're like, well, we're going to show you how to make X amount of sales. And so you just pay the credit card, company back with your profits, and then boom, you don't have to pay for your ad spend at all. And then all these people are just racking up all these credit card bills. And so what we're going to do is we are actually going to do a better way. Okay, going to do a better way. Something that my mentor taught me, and this has been something that has done really well, is we first have to have a solvable problem. Okay, let's just use the example that we were using a while ago, right? A lot of you guys said, hey, if I make $10,000 a month, I'll be cool. Some of you guys even said something less than that, right? So our solvable problem is, if we want to make $10K a month, that solvable problem is, well, if we're selling something for $5K, I just have to sell 2 products. That's just part of the problem. What else do we have to figure out? Our close rate, right? How many calls do we have to get on in order to close 2 clients? Oops. How many messenger or real life conversations? How many messenger conversations do we have in order to book the calls needed for that close rate? How many comments do we need to get X amount of messenger conversations? How many posts a week do we need in order to get X amount of comments? How many X amount of comments do we need to get a week to get X amount of messenger conversations? How many messenger conversations every week do we need to get X amount of calls? How many calls do we need to get every month in order to get X amount of people that we can close to get 2 sales? This is our solvable problem, right? How many of you guys have ever done the math like this? Okay, so that's the first framework, is knowing our solvable problem. If you do not know the answer to this, okay, we have to figure out, how do we figure out that math problem with the least amount of risk? Okay, how do we figure that out with the least amount of risk? Do you think a webinar funnel is the least amount of risk? Right? We have 2 choices. I'm going to show you guys how to do both of those 2 choices. How many of you guys can at least spend $500 a month in ad spend? $500 a month, that's hardly anything. Right? Okay. So how do we get there with the least amount of risk? We can use $5 ads in organic traffic, right? As a matter of fact, we could actually take this right here, right? Because if we talk about the least amount of risk, that's organic traffic. Go one step further, the least amount of effort. There we go. Right? That's where our $5 ads, for most people, the least amount of risk, it goes here because they're spending, because they can spend more later. But for this lesson, I'm actually going to put the $5 ads here. So this is the framework. Solvable problem. We figure that out. What is our solvable problem? How do we get there with the least amount of risk? after we figure out our solvable problem here with organic traffic, right, with our power content posting, how do we get there with less effort? We pay Facebook to find our audience instead of hanging out in Facebook groups, hanging out on people's pages, right? And then we have more options. That's where I show you guys how to do it on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Does that framework make sense? First, we have to find our solvable problem. How can we get there with the least amount of risk, the least amount of effort? And then after we have our least amount of effort, so once we know we could use $5 ads, guess what? Now we just put those $5 ads across multiple platforms.